Okay, so we finally got the news of JDM and Islam Makhachev. By the way, I had another video planned for YouTube, but I was told to be on standby because y'all boy Uncle Dana was going to drop some fighting news. But within that fight news, my sources, I got told through the DMs like a day ago, like this was the fights that's being made. The deals got done and everything. So I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a little bit mad. I wouldn't say mad. I'm just a little irritated because we waited this long. Dana just dropped the news like 20 minutes ago. He dropped the news on all the fights that, people like me and quite other few people out here, us content creators, we already knew about this. So I'm just a little bit mad that, the video that I had planned for tonight, I'm probably going to do that in the morning. But anyways, got that rant out the way. We got some big fight announcements. JDM, Islam is finally, official. The deal is finalized. Their headliners in Madison Square Garden in November. I believe the date is like November 15th. And also with that, so I didn't make a video on it on my YouTube, but on my other platform, I made a women's MMA video. What was it? Yesterday? I made it yesterday. And basically, I talked about Weili, Zhang, and Valentina. So for YouTube, I'm going to talk about that slightly because now the shit I was saying in that video I made yesterday, it came to fruition officially today with the news. Weili, Zhang, and Valentina is for the strawweight belt. Weili has vacated. I said strawweight. For the flyweight belt. Shit, I'm getting that all fucked up. Weili vacated her strawweight belt, going up to flyweight to fight Valentina, while Mackenzie Dern and Venera Genova is for the vacant belt. So that fight got announced. But also, the only fight that's really new to me, that got, and we're going to talk about this in a few. We're going to talk about all the fights in a few. But, so we got JDM, Islam Makhachev, Valentina, and Weili Zhang. And those are the two fights. Also, Carlos Paredes and Leon Edwards got announced too. I knew about that late yesterday. So, really, that's three fights that I've been knowing about. More so Weili and Valentina, because it was like a couple days ago I would start seeing the rumors, and then yesterday I finally made a video about it. So I've been knew about Islam and JDM. Valentina and Weili was more recent. And then Leon Edwards and Carlos Paredes was like late yesterday. So that's really like three fights I had an idea about that I knew. Now, Carlos Paredes and Leon Edwards, I knew, so that fight was getting made. So I knew that fight was getting made, but I didn't think it was going to be announced tonight. So I guess you could say that's new information, but I knew the fight was going down anyway. I was expecting, and I'm going to get to that fight, and I'm going to get to another fight in a minute. The only new fight that got announced today that I wasn't aware of was Umar Nurmagomedov and Mario Batista. So Mackenzie Dern and Genova and Umar and Mario Batista, that's going to be on two. Is it 221 or 222? It's going to be on one of those pay-per-views. I think it's 220. No, excuse me. I'm tripping because 222 is JDM and Islam Makhachev. Mackenzie Dern and Genova and Umar and Mario Batista, that's going to be on 221, which is the last October pay-per-view, and that's the Tom Aspinall and Sarah Gone pay-per-view. So really, the only new fight was Umar and Mario Batista. That's the new fight that we really haven't got known about. We knew, or we got confirmation late that Umar had signed his contract for a fight, but we didn't know who it was. So now we officially got the news that it's Mario Batista. Now that is an interesting fight. But on a side note, before I get to talking about some of these fights, on a side note, I was expecting news on like Sean Brady or Shavkat, because there's a lot of, well, I guess I wouldn't say that I had, had hopes for some news on it, because there's a lot of moving parts with that, because, apparently Sean Brady and Ian Gary were supposed to fight. Ian Gary turned it down. So now Sean Brady is supposed to fight Shavkat, but then Shavkat manager said that, no, that fight's not happening. So there's a lot of moving parts with welterweight right now. So I was hoping we get some clarification on that, because I already knew once I saw my DMs, and and we chatted and we chopped it up a bit about JDM and Islam. I already knew JDM and Islam was going to get announced today. So I was hoping like we'll get some clarification on welterweight. But with the fights that's being announced today, JDM, Islam, Valentina, Weili, Zhang, Janorba, Mackenzie Dern, and Umar and Mario Batista. This still, even though I'm irritated, this still a great list of fights that's being announced. Even though, I am irritated and not known about half of them. JDM and Islam, we already know that's going to be one banger of a fight. It's going to shape the dynamic of the welterweight division and also really lightweight division. Really think about it, because I've been saying, in my past couple videos, I don't think Islam is really staying at welterweight. Even if he wins the belt, I don't think Islam is going to stay at welterweight long enough to defend his belt. Like, I think this is just for legacy. Like, he's going to win the welterweight if he was to beat JDM, win the belt, and then he probably going to go back to lightweight. Because if you really think about it, Islam go back to lightweight, they automatically doing the Topuria and Islam matchup. Automatically. And also, I'm going to add this in there too, because it's going to be a separate video. But apparently Topuria and Justin Gaethje is supposed to fight. That's the next title match for lightweight. But Topuria's manager and even like some of the Spanish announcers and broadcasters or whatever, or journalists out there in Spain, said that's false. So you can add that to the list of the Shavkat, welterweight news. But with Islam, you already know he comes back to lightweight, they're instantly doing that Topuria Islam matchup. No question about it. But Islam, it's and the reason why I say it's still going to shape lightweight, because I don't see Islam staying at welterweight anyway, just from the shit that he's been talking about. Now it's starting to be much more easier for him to gain that weight and, manage it. But long term, because how he been talking, he still wants to come back to lightweight. So I'm already knowing this is not going to be a permanent move for him. But come on now. We already know what comes with this fight. This is like one of the top 5 anticipated matchups that we could have right now. JDM and Islam. So yeah, we already got Khamzat and DDP. Topuria and Charlie Olives. You can't really say that's a most anticipated match. That was a fantastic matchup to see. But if you had to put it on the list of like super fights, I mean, would it be top 5? I don't know. I mean, to be honest, Topuria coming up, or even Max Holloway, coming up, any one of those matchups with Max Holloway and Topuria is automatically going to be a great ass matchup, But we talking about a champion going against another champion, So I mean, I can't really put Charlie Olives up there, but I mean, I guess you can though, because Khamzat and DDP, we put that as like my personal list. That was top 3. It was John, Tom Aspinall, Islam, and Topuria. and Kansas DDP. So we got Kansas DDP. Now we getting, we taking a little side quest. But JDM and Islam is still a fantastic fight that I'm looking forward to. So you can put that in the list. But yeah, we all know that comes with JDM and Islam. Now, on to the women's side of things. This, other than Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes, this is the perfect matchup to get women's MMA, back on track as far as like excitement level from the fans. Because really, I'm looking around and I'm taking my personal feelings out the equation. Because everybody know how I feel about women's MMA. I only pay attention, really, for those that don't know, I really only pay attention to what Valentina do. Valentina, Mackenzie Dern, and Tatiana Suarez. If it's none of those three, I'm not. Ever since Amanda retired, I really haven't paid attention to women's MMA other than those three. There was a time, see, it's crazy because now I'm starting to, like 2024, 2025, I'm starting to, do this on camera. But if I would have did this podcasting, if I would have did all this MMA podcasting back in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, those days, y'all would have got like a women's MMA video like every other day. I was covering the women's MMA just as much as I was with the men. But, with Amanda, now that she's back, but during that time span where she retired, because she only been retired for like, 2 years now? I low-key just stopped. I just stopped being interested because it was really, and it's not the ladies' fault. It's more so UFC side of things. They really haven't did a good job of like building up the bantamweight division since Amanda left. Like flyweight, like if anything, Valentina's division with flyweight has probably the most potential of when Valentina is gone, that division can still hold their own as far as like fan interaction and excitement level and competition of good level quality fights. Bantamweight, they did a piss poor job with that, and maybe and like I said, it's not the ladies' fault. It's more so UFC job. They didn't do a good job of building that division back up. Strawweight, it's hit or miss. There is some of the females in that strawweight division that I feel like, when Weili Zhang is done, they could hold their own. But then there's some where it's like, it's kind of like bantamweight. But the mix with some of those, and then you still got Mackenzie Dern, and then even Janorba. Like Janorba she's really good. She is a really good fighter. So in the mix with Mackenzie Dern, Janorba, and there's a couple other up and comers, strawweight, it has potential, but the most potential is Valentina's weight division. That's the division that's really popping with the up and comers. All the new generation women fighters is starting to push up into that top 10. So, but back to Valentina and Weili, this is good for women's MMA. This is good. Other than Amanda and Amanda and Kayla Harrison, Valentina and Weili is the most anticipated women's fight that we can have right now. And I'm actually excited for this matchup. I don't know about y'all niggas, but I'm excited for this matchup. Just because I know how Valentina is, and Weili is technical, but she also pushed the pace on you. So I'll be interested to see how Valentina could counteract her aggressive style. And then obviously we got Mackenzie Dern. We finally got Mackenzie Dern in a title fight. Mackenzie Dern honestly got to be, other than obviously the OGs with Valentina, Amanda, Mackenzie Dern got to be the most popular women's fighter. Because not only can she fight, but she fine as hell. Everybody love a sexy-ass woman who can fight. So she got best of both worlds. She got the eye candy, and she got the talent as far as like being a a real good mixed martial artist in the octagon. But without all that being said, we all been dreaming and hoping that she can get her skills back up to the point where we can finally see a title shot. And here we are, 2025. We finally got her in a title fight. So that's real good that we get to see her in a title fight, because she putting like her beauty and her sexiness to the side. She can fight. She can fight, which is why she's one of my why I can't speak for me because everybody else like her too, but that's why she's a fan favorite. She's best of both worlds, eye candy, and she can fight. But Janorba, she's no slouch. She is no damn slouch. Honestly, if it wasn't for Mackenzie Dern, I would be rooting for Janorba right now because she can fight. She is no damn slouch. But this is good for women's MMA. I'm gonna start covering, like I said on my my other platform on Instagram. I'm gonna start covering women's MMA more and more. So expect some more women's MMA talk throughout the the coming months and stuff like that. Now we get to Umar and Mario Batista. This is a very interesting matchup. So that only tells me I'm not gonna go too deep with the analysis because I like to save that for the fight weeks. But in a outlook perspective way, that only tells me Petr Yan is going to get the winner of Umar and Corey Sandhagen, because they got Mario Batista fighting Umar, and Umar is still in the top 5 rankings. I think it's funny because I just did the rankings video, didn't I? I forgot already. I think Umar should be ranked 2nd. So, hey, you want to talk about a shakeup? Now, we was talking about this with Marcus McGee if he was to beat Petr Yan. Hey, if Mario Batista actually beats Umar, you want to talk about a little shakeup? It's gonna shake the rankings up. But Mario Batista ain't that far away though. But it's still gonna shake it up. That's for damn sure. This is a very interesting. This is an intriguing matchup for a non-title fight. This is like one of the most intriguing matches. Off the top of my head, other than Gene Silva and Diego Lopez, for a non-title fight, this is a very intriguing matchup. So I'm interested to see how this shit go down. But yeah, outlook, perspective. Petr Yan, with this matchup getting booked, Petr Yan is definitely getting the winner of Corey and Marab. But yeah, man, Uncle Dana, y'all boy, he I'm still irritated that we waited this long for some. I don't know about y'all, but I already knew half of this shit was going down. I'm just a little irritated we waited this long. And I knew, I'm like, you know what? It's 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I'm like, if he don't announce about 8 o'clock, watch he drop this shit like in the middle of the night. Just like last time, I forgot what card it was, but he announced a whole bunch of shit like in the middle of the night, around like 10:30 at night. I'm like, what? You waited this long to drop this news? But it is what it is. It is what it is. Even though I knew half of these fights was going to get announced, these are still good fights. So I'm glad they're official. And now we can start, get the predictions going, start breaking down the fights, who's going to win. So it's gonna be some interesting times leading up to fight week. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I talked long enough. Y'all tune in for tomorrow. Since I had to wait for the news, the video I had planned for today is going to be for tomorrow morning. So y'all gonna get a double upload within a span of like 12 hours. So hey man, until my next video tomorrow morning, I'll see y'all niggas later, man.